Welcome, everyone. I'm here with Rangsk to do another Paradoku. This one is by Paul Fly. So I enjoyed doing it last time immensely, and Rangsk apparently enjoyed it enough to at least agree to do this with me again.
I very much enjoyed it.
So this one's a bit more complicated than the last one, to put it mildly. I don't know if that means it's going to be more difficult, but it's going to have more going on. So do we want to sort of alternate boxes and go over the rules? Maybe we should talk about the meta rule first.
Yeah, so the meta rule is my grid looks different than Zeta's. I have not seen Zeta's grid. Hopefully, yes. I have not seen Zeta's grid. He has not seen mine, but we are allowed to talk about it just in the open, about exactly what's going on. We're just not allowed to draw each other's constraints in each other's grids. So there's just a drawing restriction. But what's going on here is each box has a specific constraint in it, and we've pre-gamed this and determined that each of our boxes has the same constraint in them. But one of our boxes is correct and one of them is wrong. And by wrong, it means all of the clues are actually incorrect. It doesn't mean that we ignore them. It means they're actually incorrect. So for example, here, let's say my white dots here are incorrect. Then that means that it's not allowed to satisfy the white dot constraint. In this case, white dots mean the digits have to be consecutive. So if my dot was correct, I'd have 2, 3 here. But if my dot was incorrect, then I could have to do something like 2, 4, right? 2, 3 would not be allowed. So that is the meta.
Oh. Right.
But yeah, so that's my box one. I think Zeta has a slightly different box one.
Yeah, so my box one involves black dots, which means there's a ratio of 2 to 1. So both Rangsk and I would be happy. Well, I guess neither Rangsk... Oh, I accidentally maybe found the break-in. Both Rangsk and I would be happy if there was a 1-2 on one of the dots, which would actually, I guess, be broken. That wasn't what I was originally thinking, but I'm going to hope your white dots are in the same spot as my black dots, in which case I know what the break-in is,
okay.
But we'll find out. But 4, 8, for example, would work for one of my dots, because 4 and 8 do have a ratio of 2 to 1, but are not consecutive. So do you want to do arrows?
Sure. So box 2 has arrows in them. So there's a circle with an arrow coming out, and digits on an arrow sum to the value in the circle. So if this was, say, 1, 2, 4, then that would sum to 7.
You have a like 3 arrow.
I do.
Fancy.
Yeah.
These are Dutch whispers. So before we started recording, assumed that these were entropic lines and that these were palindromes. Now, I'll let you imagine how sleepy I must be that I assumed that there were 2 palindromes entirely contained within a box. About how on earth I thought that was going to work. But anyway, I'll leave it to Rangsk to explain how the non-palindromes work. But the way Dutch whispers work is that they're almost exactly the same as German whispers, where you need the digits to be far apart, but they only need to be 4 apart instead of 5 apart. And so most of what you know about German whispers also applies to Dutch whispers, but the thing that you can do is you can actually put a 5 on a Dutch whispers as long as it's branched by a 1 and a 9. So like this would be an acceptable Dutch whispers, but it would be a horribly not acceptable German whispers. So that is what you can do with Dutch whispers.
Dutch whispers also have the annoying property of not going low, high, low, high. If you hit a 5, you can reverse that.
Right, exactly.
So... all right, so in box 4 here, we have sequence lines. I just have one of them. I don't know if Zeta has more. But the gray lines have a sequence that increases in one direction in equal steps. So for example, let's say the step was 2 here, and I start at 2. I could go 2, 4, 6, 8. Or I could go the other way, 2, 4, 6, 8. But it's going to have some sort of monotonically increasing sequence. Did I use those words right, Zeta? You're the math professor, not me.
Arithmetic progression lines is what I called these when I made a puzzle with these, but I then never published it because I hated it. But yeah, so that is what's happening here.
All right, you want to go
Not
to
to say I
box
hate
5?
the constraint, just that I did not like the puzzle I made. Yeah, so box 5 has, mine has X's and V's. So X means the digits sum to 10, and V's mean the digits sum to 5. They're not inequality signs. So
yeah, they're
2
Roman
and
numerals.
3 would be an acceptable. Yes, exactly. They are Roman numerals. And there are no C's in my XV grid, but yeah. I don't know about you.
I just have X's and V's, no I's or anything. All right, so box 6 is killer cages, digits in a cage, sum to the value in the top left.
And importantly, they can't repeat within the box.
Doesn't say that in the rules, but yeah, I don't think they can repeat anyway.
Thermos need to go from the smallest digit in the bulb to the largest digit. Something about mercury rising as the digits rise, which I've never fully understood. But basically, the numbers on a thermometer are small at the tip, or small at the bottom and large at the tip, or whatever. So they have to go in ascending order. I only have 2-cell thermos, so mine are going to be very powerful if they're wrong and completely useless if they're right, I suppose. Or I guess they're equally powerful if they're right or wrong. But
same here. I also only have 2-length thermos. They're basically inequality signs.
Yes.
We don't know the direction the inequality sign goes because one of ours is wrong and one of them's right.
Right.
All right. So box 8, I have quadruples. I think you do as well. In a quadruple, the numbers in the circle have to appear. Each one has to appear in the 4 surrounding cells around the circle. So this 3, 9 here, for example, I would need a 3 and a 9 somewhere around this circle. Now, if that means if this is wrong, we just need one of those digits to be not around the circle, not both of them.
Do you ever feel like a flight attendant when you're sort of like illustrating these things?
Yes, I need to do the hand
water
signals.
Exits are over here. Yes.
It's like everyone knows how to use a seatbelt, but I'm going to explain how to use a seatbelt anyway.
And this last box is the best box because this box has Renbon in it. And so a Renbon, if it's correct, needs to have a string of consecutive digits, but they can go in any order. So 6, 8, 7 could be 6, 7, 8. And then it would therefore be an acceptable Renbon. But 6, 8, 9 is not an acceptable Renbon because the 7 is missing. So that is how Renbon work. If you want to think about the shortcut way, if the Renbon is only in one box, you can think of it as saying that any 2 digits on the line, every digit between those 2 digits is also on the line.
Okay. Well, those are all the rules I know about.
So I want to take a blind guess about box 1.
Okay.
And hope that your dots are in the same spot as my dots because of the 1-2 trick. Because
Gotcha.
I have 3 black dots. So if my black dots are correct, they have to be 1, 2, 4, 8, and 3, 6.
Okay.
And by the way, I think we mentioned we have the same grids. And by the way, totally unlike the previous puzzle, we can actually just fully display where the dots are. So mine, I have one vertical one going in row 2, column 1 to row 3, column 1. Do you have one there?
Yep. Oh, and by the way, I did turn on my row column labels, which should hopefully be helpful.
Yes, I also have that. Yeah. I have one from row 2, column 2 to row 2, column 3.
Row 2, column 2 to row 2, column 3. Okay.
And I have one from row 3, column 2 to row 3, column 3. Are those where your white dots are?
Yes, I have white dots in all of those locations.
Okay. So mine is wrong, because if mine was right, one of mine would be 1, 2, and that would make one of yours right as well. So my black dots are wrong, which I guess I'm going to do by marking my box in red, and you can mark your box in green or something. I don't know. Maybe I should mark my box in gray. I don't know. I don't want to do red and green because it will be
that's going to be
a
lot.
I'm going to do mine in gray to indicate that
I think green is kind of pale enough that it's okay. And so we can do like green and like a light gray or something just to remind ourselves. What if we outline the box? How about that?
Well, then it's going to be weird when we're doing 2 boxes that border each other. Like box 5 shares borders with everything or something. That's
true. Yeah, that's going to be confusing. Okay. I'll just green my whole box then. So I have a lot of white dots in this box. The top row is a chain. So there's 2 white dots.
Oh, you had all 3 of mine and more.
I had all. Okay, so yeah, I have all 3 of yours, and I have a chain of white dots in row 1.
Okay. So where is 1 going in your box? 1 has to go in the top row, right? Because if your 1 went in any of the bottom 2 rows, then it would make one of my black dots correct, and they both have to be wrong.
So we have a digit.
I think that means row 1 is 1, 2, 3, and the middle digit's a 2.
Very nice.
So I will bring out Zach for a quick 2 dance.
All right.
Woohoo! Thank you, Zach. Thank you. Sorry, you don't get as much screen time on other people's channels.
So this is a little problematic for my box 2 arrows, because I have a 3-cell arrow in box 2, and 2 of those cells see the 1, 2, 3 triple we just placed. So that seems like that doesn't work for my arrows, because I would add to at least 10.
Yeah, so so my box 3 is correct, which means I can make it green.
Box 2.
Box 2. And I have a 4-5 pair in it because I have a 2-cell arrow that sees the 1, 2, 3 triple.
Which cells is that?
So that is row 1, column 5, and row 1, column 6. That's the 4-5 pair, and that puts the 9 in row 2, column 6.
Gotcha. Well, that 9, we just have to be careful, because that 9 went into an arrow circle for me, which has to be wrong now.
And so now I guess we should fill out the rest of row 1 is 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yes.
But row 1, column 4 for me is on an arrow, so it's definitely not an 8, because it would make the arrow have to add to 9, and it can't.
Oh, how does that arrow look for you that's true?
Wait 1 second. Sorry, somehow I mistyped the numbers that are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, there we go. Sorry, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it goes row 1, column 4, and row 2, column 4. Those are the 2 arrow cells, and the circle is row 3, column 5.
Oh, I thought you meant the circle was row 1, column 4.
No. Sorry, that is a cell on the arrow. But my point is it can't be an 8. Because
then
if
you
it
would
was
add to 9.
And now I can confirm that my Dutch Whisper grid is wrong. Because I now have a 6, 7, 8, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9s next to each other on a Dutch Whisper, which does not work.
I see. Okay. Is there anything else we can find in box 2 before we move on? I will green my box 3, but...
So row 2, column 4... is a 1 or a 2 because of my arrow business. And therefore, row 3, column 5 is a 7 or an 8.
Okay.
Based on that.
We need to be a little careful, because I need row 3, column 4 plus row 3, column 5 to not be 9.
Row 3, column... Sorry, which ones?
Row 3, column 4 plus row 3, column 5 should not add to 9.
Okay.
And I know you can't draw that, but it means that I think a 1, 2 in row 3, column 4 is a little dangerous. But I don't know if it's completely impossible, but it seems dangerous to me. Because that could easily lead to it adding to 9. Do you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So
and we need 1, 2, and we need 1, 2 somewhere. So I guess maybe keep that in mind, because I'm thinking about your arrow, where if it's like 7, 1, 8, that's okay. 6, 1, 7 would keep 2 out of that cell. I don't know. I don't know if this is like fruitful, but...
Well, I can tell you that row 2, column 7 has to be at least 3 to make sure my Dutch Whispers is wrong.
Okay.
Which I'm hoping is useful in combination with the...
Okay, I do have Dutch Whispers that touch all of the 6, 7, 8, 9 that we placed in row 1, and they kind of they branch down to row 2, but they miss that cell you mentioned. They miss row 2, column 7. So row 2, column 8 and row 2, column 9 are connected in some way to the 6, 7, 8, 9 in row 1.
I see. Okay, so they're at most 5.
Let's see, 8. Well, so okay, so let's get a little bit more specific. So row 2, column 9, I agree, is at most 5, so it's 1 through 5. Row 2, column 8, we'll see a pair, so it's at most 4, because it'll see the minimum. How do you put that? It might see an 8, 9 pair, so it might see an 8,
right?
But it can't just see double 9.
Right. Unless we do our Sudoku very badly.
Yes. And then I guess since we have truthful lines, I have a little Dutch whisper line that goes from row 3, column 7 to row 3, column 8, which I don't know what to do with at all, but it's there. Maybe comes in handy later.
Seems possible.
So if you just imagine... Oh, sorry.
My quads can't be right. Because, so let me explain why. So my quads create problematic... Oh, no, sorry. It's not true that my quads can't be right. It's that if my quads are right, my XVs are wrong.
Oh.
So these 5s align with these 5s. I'm highlighting this for chat, which would place a 5 into column 4 of box 5.
So you can't have both your quads and your XVs be correct at the same time.
Right, correct. And so likewise, this 7-8 here aligns with this 7-8, and so it would have to appear. And so I have to. So if my quads are correct, by some sort of claiming pairs nonsense, I have both a 5 and a 7-8 in these 3 cells, but 2 of them are on a V, where neither 5 nor 7-8 can appear, as far as I'm aware.
Okay, so that does mean that one of mine is right and one of mine is wrong, just by the inverse of what you said, even though I don't see it myself.
Both of yours could be right? I think both of yours could be right. Would be okay.
You just have to have at least one wrong. Okay.
Right.
Sorry, Claudia is demanding attention in the middle of our Sudoku solve. Actually, I'm gonna maybe we can cut this, but I'm gonna go see what Claudia wants because she's screaming. Okay. I'll be right back. All right, we had a brief cut because you probably heard that Claudia was singing the song of her people. She wanted dinner, so I have returned.
She has now had dinner.
She is eating dinner voraciously.
I see.
Let's see.
So here's a thing I can say. If my killer grid is correct, row 4, column 7 is a 9, if I did my math correctly.
Interesting. So row 4, column 7, if your grid's correct, it's a 9.
If my killer grid is correct, which I have no reason to suspect it is or isn't, but if it is correct, then that is the 9, yes.
Well, let's see. My killer cages, I'm gonna see if this is possible. I think it is, but I'm just doing... So I have a 9 plus a 9 plus 11, so that's 29. Check my math there. So what are the outies of 29?
16?
Yeah, 16. So if my killer cages are correct, then I have 2 outie cells that add to 16.
So they'd have to be 7 and 9.
They'd have to be 7, 9. So we disagree about where that 9 would go, because my outies are in row 4, column 9, and row 6, column 7. But it is possible, I think.
Do we have all of your Dutch whispers marked? Are all of your Dutch whispers in rows 1 and 2?
No, I said I had that. I have that little short one that goes between row 3, column 7 and row 3, column 8.
Oh, okay. So yeah, there's a diagonally one, and so
it's not.
So
it's not diagonal. It's in row 3.
Oh, sorry. Oh, right. Sorry, right.
From 7 to 8.
So okay, so that one does not get us any more pencil marks until we know more.
Not that I could tell.
And we've got to make sure that we keep 4 and 8 off of the same black dot in my box 1 is one of the things that I am.
Well, remember that all of your black dots are actually white dots. They're true white dots. So I think you shouldn't be.
Oh, right. All of my black dots are true white dots. So correct. So yes, that is a good point. So I should not be too worried about it. Right. So, I wonder if thinking about things like where 9 is in this box is going to be interesting Sudoku-logically because of that.
Well, 9 is definitely in the row 3 of that box, of box
right.
1. So if it's on the dot, it's 9-8.
Right.
Which then also gives us
it's on a dot, yeah. So
well, yeah. So
the
8 is,
the question is, is it making this a 7 in my arrow circle or not? So maybe this is 7 in the arrow circle. That would be very interesting
because that would have to be 1-6,
right?
And also, it takes 9, 8, and 7 away from my little Dutch whisper. So I'd have to be either 5 or 6 on there.
Okay. So I think 8. Never mind. I think I was going to say something silly. So the white dots in box 1 are a 9-8 and a 7-6 and a 5-4.
That sounds right.
If the 5-4 is horizontal, it aligns with the 5-4 in box 2. That sounds like the kind of thing that might break Dutch whispers, but I don't have true Dutch whispers in my grid, so I cannot confirm that. But can we rule 4-5 off of any of these because of what it would do to box 3?
I don't see it. It's possible, but like I don't think the lows are too problematic for me in box 3. Which horizontal are you thinking? Like the row 2 or the row 3?
Well, I was hoping both would break because I would like to be able to place all of them because I'm greedy.
So you did mention 8, and I guess it's a little interesting that if row 3 column 5 is 8, then it places an 8 in row 2 column 1, and it places the 9.
Right. It makes
so I guess 8 and 9 are gone from row 3 because they're going to be used by box 1 and 2. So we need to put 8 and 9 somewhere else in box 3. So we know 9 is in row 1.
8 and 9 in row 1 are in box 3 for sure.
Oh yeah, we already know that from the row. Okay.
Yeah, just from the row. Yeah, that is just a different way to say the thing that you were saying. So the cell I have marked as being able to be 8 is not actually able to be 8.
Yeah.
So row 2 column 7 can, I believe, only be 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7.
Yes, we have significantly reduced the pencil marks in that cell.
Indeed, that is
making progress.
It's a big improvement.
Mm-hmm.
I do notice that I do have 3 cells in row 2 marked as being from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which are row 2 column 4, row 2 column 8, and row 2 column 9. And so if I did make this white dot in that row a 4, 5, that would actually complete the quintuple. I'm not saying that's a problem. I'm just saying... Wait, no, it's definitely a... No, it's not definitely a problem. Sorry, I was realizing it would put a 6, 7 next to a 6, 7, 8, 9 on a Dutch Whispers and was like, oh, that's bad. But my Dutch Whispers have to be wrong. Yeah. So it's in fact not actually bad if we do that thing I just said.
Yeah. I have to be ignoring my arrows in box 2, but you have a lot more to ignore. At least you can just treat your black dots as white dots.
Right, yeah.
I don't know, maybe like the sequence line or something, or the XV comes into play, or the killer. Like, I wonder if we need more from the rest of the grid.
Yeah, the strong constellation of white dots just draws my eye as something where since we know exactly what combination they each are, we just don't know the order. That was why I was sort of drawn to that. But but certainly it is possible that we can get something out of. I've got a 4-cell sequence line and a 3-cell sequence line for whatever that is worth, although I can't imagine it's a lot.
I just have a single 4-cell sequence line.
So I guess a thing that's true that I should mention is that in my XV box, I have 2 X's and a V. So if my XV box is correct, then that consumes all the lows in just those 6 cells. And so all of these 3 cells that I'm highlighting would all of necessity be 5 or high.
I also have 2 X's and a V. So I'm wondering if any of our outies overlap.
Yeah, so my outies are row 5, column 6, row 6, column 4, and row 6, column 6.
So row 6, column 4 is an overlap. So that has 5 or higher, right?
Yep.
The other 2 are not overlapped. My V, I mean, clearly our V's have to be in different spots. Otherwise.
that had better be the case. Yeah. Yes.
But my V is from row 4, column 6 to row 5, column 6. It's vertical.
Okay, so your V is there. And what digits are on your quads? Are they interesting with what's going on in box 2 or the XVs or any of that nonsense?
I was looking at that. I have 3 9 on one and 1 2 on the other.
And is the 9 in any interaction with the 9 that we already have?
No, it's columns 4 and 5.
And where's the 1 2?
Columns 5 and 6.
So your 1 2 contradicts. Oh, it doesn't quite contradict your V, does it? It almost contradicts your V. Does it contradict your V with the combination of about what you don't want 1s and 2s doing in box 2 or something?
Okay, well, if I count lows, I've got 1 2 3 4 5. I've got 5 lows in column 5 and 6 accounted for if both of my boxes are true. I don't think I don't think I'm forced to have lows in box 2 in those columns. Am I? Well, I need to place 1, 2, and 3. Oh no, I am forced to. Okay. So in box 2, we do need at least one of 1, 2, 3 to appear in column 5 or 6. Because there's just not room to put them all in column 4.
Right.
So so if both of my box 5 and box 8 are true, then I have basically accounted for all of the lows. Wait, no, there's 8 lows, not 6 lows. No, never mind. I was really hopeful that there were only 6 low digits in 2 columns, which is not true. I'm honestly not seeing anything like hazardous about these constraints at all. I wonder if it's my killer cages or something.
Yeah, I've got 2 10s and a 16 that I'm occasionally looking at and deciding I don't think quite do anything. I was just filling in that the white dot in row 2 is from 4 5 6 7 only, which is not a super profound statement. It's just something we already said.
Yeah, because it can't have 8 on it, because 8 goes with 9.
Right. And that really is okay if it's 4 5. It doesn't break your row 3 line if that's 4 5.
No, we want those to be low, so.
Well, 4 and 5 are just so weird. You said you have a horizontal line in row 3, right?
Yeah. Now, interestingly, 4 5 would do something. Like you said, it makes a quad.
That just breaks. You can't have both 4 and 5 in row 3 if you've got 8 and 9 are gone in the box. And you have a 2-cell Dutch Whisper, right, in row 3?
Oh.
I think that just breaks,
I think what Zeta's saying is if 4 and 5 are down here, one of them will be on the correct Dutch Whisper, and then the other side's going to have to be... Well, can't I do 5-1?
Oh, crap. I was really okay with 8 and 9 being the only digit. Can we just edit out the part where you realize that 1 is a number and just go on with it and be happy about that?
I certainly couldn't do 4 on the line. So 4 would be forced into row 3, column 9. But then I would have 5. So it would be very specific. It would be 1, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Which would that place a 1 in box 2, or would that be 2 choices? I don't know. I don't quite remember where your arrows are. I think this was one of your arrows. And wait, how many arrows do you have in box 2?
Just 2.
Okay, so we have the 4, 5, 9.
It's the 4, 5 adding to 9, and the 6, 7, and the 1, 2 adding to 7 or 8.
So it's the ones I've penciled. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm sure Chad is telling us why that exact combination already breaks if we think about it. The exactly 4 with a 1, 5.
Yeah.
But
I wonder if it...
Let's see. Does it do something above if you use all of 4 and 1, 5 that is bad?
4 and 1, 5. Okay, so... Okay, so if I use 1, 4, and 5 down here, so if this was a 1, 5 and this was a 4, then I'm actually literally doing it. That makes a 2, 3 pair on my Dutch Whisper.
That doesn't sound good.
And they'd be next to each other. Oh, these are next to each other. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, Zeta. It's been me the whole time. I have a...
Do you have a true Dutch Whisper that's marked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're next to each other?
They're next to each other. We've been doing all sorts of things, and there's just been this one little...
We've come up with a really elaborate way to disprove this. So we'll just say that the way we've proven this is that we'd have a 1, 4, 5 triple down there, and that would be a bad problem.
Let me give you a couple digits here. So, so this one cell is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the other cell is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So row 2, column 8, and row 2, column 9.
Yeah. So row 2, column 8 is 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're connected to each other. So it has to be 1 and 5. Yes. Which does give that 2.
Does all kinds of stuff, because it gives us the arrow has to be 2, 6, and 8.
Yes, it does. So now we get the 9 and the 8. Yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff. Now we've got a
6, 7 on the white dot. Oh yeah, all kinds of stuff happening now. Okay, okay, and something couldn't add to 9. Are we at risk of the thing adding to 9 anymore?
Yeah, we can place the 1. So there's a 1 in row 3, column 6 is the conclusion there.
Okay, and so that places the 7 in the box in row 3, column 4. And the whatever the other digit is.
Why can't it be 3?
Because there's a 6, 7 pair on that white dot in row 2.
Which does look at
5 looking over. Yep.
Yeah, I missed that.
So that's a 7. That's a 3, which makes that a 4. Which that 4, because my Dutch Whispers is wrong, tells me that row 1, column 7 is not a 9.
Okay. I can tell you that row 3, column 9 is a 3.
I feel like I should be able to tell you what row 2, column 1 is, just looking at my pencil marks.
It's an 8.
It's an 8. Okay, excellent. Which means it's next to a 9.
Yeah.
Which means we've got a 4, 5 down here. Which means that these other 2 digits are a 2 and a something.
6.
2 and a 6. Okay, there we go. Okay.
I'm just gonna read off because we have almost all the digits in the top band.
Yep. So so let's read.
So a 1, 3 next to a 2 next to a 1, 3.
Yep.
And then we've got 6 and then a 4, 5 pair.
Perfect.
And we got 7, 8, 9, but the leftmost one's not 9.
Correct.
I might be able to clean that up further actually.
Uh,
Row 1, column 9 must be 9 because of my Dutch Whispery stuff. because it's next to a 5. All right, so row 2, we've got 8, and then a 6, 7 pair. Mm-hmm. We got 2, 3, 9, 4, 1, 5.
Zeta Math and Rangsk read the phone book. the best feeling.
Is that what you have as well? Yeah.
Yep. And then 9, 4, 9, and then a 4, 5 pair in row 3, and then 7, 8, 1, a 2, 6 pair and 3.
Yep, that's what I've got. And I've got row 6, column 4 is a 5, 8, or 9.
Correct. I also have that. Yes, that is.
That's 5, all I have marked, 9.
Though. Okay. So now we've got to look for some interesting, weird thing that's happening with either our some interesting thing that's happening between the X's and V's with box 2 and the quadruples with box 2, I suspect. Because I had previously noted that it can't be the case that both of mine are correct. So at least one of your XV and quadruples is correct.
At this point, it seems like I'd be perfectly fine with both being correct. But I now at least have some deductions if they're correct. Not a lot. Okay, well, my V would be 2, 3 pair, which would then put both a 1 and a 2 here. Which would put a 1 here, which I know is very exciting for you. Puts a 9 there. It does a lot if both of mine are correct. I haven't written it out, but I don't even know if what I just said is all fully correct, but it doesn't feel broken to me. Unless I stop too soon.
Yeah, but similarly, I feel like I could make either piece work. Like my V would be a 1, 4 if it's correct. I guess here's one weird deduction. One of row 4, column 4 and row 5, column 4 is always a 1. Oh no, sorry, I don't know that one of these is correct.
No.
If I knew that you were in the same situation I was, I would know that one of these two had to be a 1 because it's implied by both my quadruples being correct and by my V being correct. But I don't know that. But maybe you know that this is not possible. Let me know. Row 4, column 4, or row 5, column 4, one of those would have to be a 1 if either my box 5 or my box 8 is correct.
I'm okay with that. And in fact, if both of mine are correct... Okay, well, is that a problem for you? If both of mine are correct... then there's a 1 in row 5, column 4. Among other things.
I'm okay with that. There could not then be a 4 in row 4, column 4, if yours is correct.
Okay, I don't care about 4s at all, to be honest.
Yeah, I can't imagine that that's a huge issue for you.
Hold on, I'd have a 1 and a 2. Okay, so I'd also have a 2 in row 4, column 4. If both of my constraints...
a 2 in row 4, column 4? There's already a 2 in column 4.
Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe I read that wrong then. Let me double check. I probably read it wrong. So this would be a 2, 3 pair. And so then we'd have a 1 and a 2 here. Oh yeah. So, sorry. No, the 2 is already on the V, so I wouldn't have to place another 2 in the box. So yeah, I was seeing things.
You were optimistic.
Yeah. I was like, well, the box is going to need a 2. It's like, I'm doing very well today. I messed up that Dutch whisper for how long? I'm wondering if row 6, column 4, if we can both eliminate 8 and 9 from it, somehow. That's what I'm thinking.
So I'm currently looking at one of my particular X's, and I'm noticing that if my XV box is correct, I actually know what this X is. So I'm gonna walk chat through this, and then I'll tell you what the digits are. So this would be 1, 4. My V would be 1, 4 if this box 5 is correct. And so therefore this X, which sees 3 and 8, and a 1 would have to be 4, 6 exactly. So I would have a 4, 6 pair in row 5, column 5, and row 6, column 5 in that. Wait, no, sorry. Oh no, it's just impossible. It's impossible. Never mind. Sorry, I have made this way more complicated than it is. I can't have both of these be correct now. If this V is correct, it's 1, 4, and now this X is nothing, because this X now sees 1 and 4 and 3 and 8. And if you see 1 and 4 and 3 and 8, you have no options.
Correct.
You can only be 5, 5 or something.
So you have a vertical X in column 5.
I have a vertical X in column 5,
Gotcha.
but my that means my box 5 is correct. Or sorry, is wrong. Because if my box 5 was right, then this would be 1, 4 because it sees a 2, and then this would have no value. So my box 5 is wrong.
Well, then I can give you stuff. So
okay, I will take stuff.
I have a V in column 6 from rows 4 to 5. So that has to be a 2, 3 pair.
Okay, so it's a 2, 3 pair running horizontally across
vertically
columns 5 and 6. Sorry,
no, it's in column 6 only.
Sorry, column 6, rows 5 and 6.
Rows 4 and 5.
Rows 4 and 5. Okay, there we go.
We got there.
We got kind of, sort of.
Maybe I should have just said the 2 cells. So row 4, column 6, and row 5, column 6 are a 2, 3 pair.
Yep, got it.
They're sitting right below a 1. In the box above it.
Okay. There we go.
Oh, I need to mark my box green. And so now I have 2 X's, and so they're going to be a 4, 6, and a 1, 9. And I know which is which.
Okay.
So the 1, 9, and the reason for that to viewers is because we have this 1 and 9 looking at this cell in row 6, column 6. So that can't be the 1, 9. So the 1, 9 is row 5, column 4, and row 5, column 5 is a 1, 9 pair.
Okay.
Not gray green, 1, 9. And then the other X is in row 6, column 5, and row 6, column 6. It's a 4, 6 pair.
It's a 4, 6 pair. Okay.
And so our outies are 5, 7, 8.
Yes.
And so that's a 5, 8 pair. 7 is placed.
7 is placed. And now I have an X that has to be wrong that's telling me that row 4, column 6 is not a 3.
Ah.
So row 4, column 6 is a 2.
Okay, that gives us the 2, 3.
Yep.
Now, I don't know if my quads are correct or not, right? Because you could have the correct quads now.
I could have the correct quads. Yeah, I can think about what happens. By the way, Chad, I had corner marked 1s here for absolutely no reason at all. So if you saw that and were like, oh God, Zeta has done something horrible, you were right, but I have fixed it, I think. So I'm noticing that we have lots of sort of corner marks in box 8. So I have 7s and 8s in column 6 in box 8,
yep.
just by Sudoku. And I have a 7-8 quad that is in that column.
Okay.
So if my quads are correct, these are a 7-8 pair. Now I also have some 5 scatter. Yeah, I feel like there might be some way that I can, if my quads are right, it forces a lot. Maybe I should say it that way.
Gotcha. I'm not seeing a reason my quads have to be wrong. I wonder if there's a reason my quads can't be wrong. I don't think so, but
yeah, that's sort of what I was hoping would happen, because I'm also seeing that 5 is in one of this bunch of cells, a bunch of which are on my quads. But yeah, I don't see anything immediately wrong. I do see that I have a 10 cage in my killer grid that's looking at a 2 and a 7 now from row 4.
okay.
So it would have to be either 1, 9 or 4, 6.
Okay.
If it was correct. And and that seems okay. It's possible that it being 4-6 would break the sequence lines in some way I'm not appreciating.
Yeah, I've just started thinking about my sequence line, and like I'm seeing like one side of my sequence line sees an 8-9, and the other side sees a 7 and a 2, but like this could just be 1, 2, 3, 4 as far as I can tell. Oh no, it can't have a 3 here. And or a 1. Okay, I think this could go 2, 4, 6, 8 at the very least. Let's see what. Okay, I can't do a difference of 3 on a 4-length line, right? I have to do a difference of 1 or 2.
Right.
So from here, this side. From this side, I would have to go. I can't start with 1, so I'd have to start with 2 and I can't do 2, 3. I have to go 2, 4, 6, 8. Is there any other possibility? Well, I guess I could just do a sequence of 4 consecutive digits. 4, 5,
I'm noticing
6. No, can't do 4, 5, 6, 7. 5,
row
6,
4, column
7,
1 can't be
is
7,
possible.
8, or 9, which is interesting for my sequence line.
Row 4, column 1?
Row 4, column 1. Yeah, it can't be 7, 8, or 9, which is creating... It's possible that this is just now impossible. So if my length 4 sequence line is correct, that's the starting point of my sequence line. So if I want to go...
You can't do like 6, 7, 8, 9? Oh, I guess. Yeah.
The 9 would land in the row with the 1, 9 pencil marks. So I'm just going to remove candidates from this cell and talk out loud, and it'll sound boring and rambly, but maybe Chad will figure it out. If this is a 1, it doesn't work because, as Rangsk said, there's only 2 ways. It could go 1, 2, 3, 4, or it could go 1, 3, 5, 7, both of which break because of pencil marks in this row. So this can't be a 1. If this is a 3 now, there's not even enough room for it to go up by 2 because it would go 3, 5, 7, 9. But again, there's no 9 here. And if it went up by 1, it would go 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, crap. That does work.
Oh, no.
There's a way that works. Darn, I thought for sure this was going to fail.
Does that break your other line?
Oh, maybe. Oh, God. So, yeah, if this are 3, 4, 5, 6, the other could still be 7, 8, 9, I'm afraid. Okay. Oh, no, that doesn't work, but for a really obnoxious reason involving where the 2 goes in the box.
Oh. Do you want to think about where 2 goes in the box in general?
I kind of want to think about where 2 goes in the box in general, because, yeah, 2 for me goes in a pretty narrow band of places. I mean, it only goes in 4 places in the box.
So I'm thinking...
Either of these would immediately break this line. I can't have a 2 anywhere in sight on a length 4.
Would those both happen to be in row 5?
Yeah, the ones in row 5 would just break the line.
Give me a second to think about it, because I might also not be able to put 2s in row 5. In which case, no matter whose lines are correct. Yeah, no matter whose line is correct, maybe that still excludes the 2s.
Mm-hmm.
So let me think about it. This one's clearly wrong, because if this was a 2, this would have to be a 3, and it can't be. If this side were 2, I couldn't go 2, 3, so I'd have to go 2, 4, 6, 8.
I believe I'm prepared to say my lines break no matter what.
Okay, well then that's easy then, because I don't think that's broken.
I'm pretty convinced that I can't put a 2 in either of these, but like a 2 on a length 4 line, if it was in the second spot along, it would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
Because there's nothing smaller than it. And if it's in the end, then it would have to be 2, 3, 4, 5, or 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, wait, why did I think 2, 4? Oh, 2, 4, 6, 8 breaks because there's an 8 above. Okay, so that wouldn't work. The other line would have to have 2 at the end. This is a length 3 line, but we can go through these options pretty quickly. 2, 3, 4 breaks because there's a 4, 6 pencil mark in the row. 2468, or sorry, 246 breaks because there's a 4-6 pencil mark in the row,
Mm-hmm.
and 258 breaks because there's a 5-8 pencil mark
Oh,
in
wow.
the row.
I think I know where your line is.
Yeah, you might be able to guess, and so everything breaks, and so I think my box is wrong.
Because you can't put 2 anywhere.
Yeah, if mine is right, I think 2 is ruled out of the whole box.
Okay, so mine's correct.
Which is kind of a nasty deduction, but I think it's correct.
Which means I should think about what my line does. So I know that 2, 4, 6, 8 is possible. I wonder if that's the only thing that's possible. This end can't be 1. We know 2, 4, 6, 8 works. It can't be 3. Is 4 too big to start on a 4-length line? Well, not if we do like 4, 5, 6, 7, but that 7 doesn't work. You can't go by 2. Can we do 5, 6, 7, 8? I think 5, 6, 7, 8 works as well.
Yeah, remember earlier when I said I didn't like the puzzle I made with these lines? This is exactly why I did not like the puzzle I made with these lines. There's just so much of
9. Yeah, there's just a lot of tinkering. I have a few options that work. I mean, we could pencil them, but I don't know. I'm worried I'd miss a case.
Can we rule 2 out of any of these cells at least?
2 can't be in row 5, column 3.
Oops. There we go.
So there's 3 spots for 2. Yeah, knowing the sequence line is right doesn't help me considerably.
I hope I'm not going to have to use the fact that my length 4 sequence line is wrong.
It sounds like it overlaps a lot with mine. That might be the issue.
It's possible. I'm also noticing that 9 only goes in 4 spaces in box 4. And a lot of those might be immediately broken by your sequence lines, depending on where your sequence lines are.
Well, let me think about that. Well, 3 of them don't touch it. So it would just be row 4, column 3. I think I can do 9, 8, 7, 6. I don't see a problem with that. So no, I can put a 9. I can put a 9 there.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
I was optimistic.
I know. And then the other 3 aren't even on the line.
Okay, so what is at the bottom of column 4? We've got a 1 and a 9, a 3, and a 4. I'm trying to see if that's interesting.
I have a 3-9 quad touching 2 of those cells.
Interesting.
So
I do keep... Oh, yeah, that.
If we want that to be wrong, there's a few ways to make it wrong, but...
Yeah, so my 1 quad misses the 1 in that 1, 3, 4, 9. So this would have to be a 3, 4, 9 triple if my quads are correct.
Interesting. So I wonder if the issue is like if yours are correct, then mine, I also have a correct one, and that's an issue.
Possibly. I'm looking at, I have a couple 10 cages in my killer grid, and one of them sees a 4, 6 and a 1, 9. So if this is correct, it would have to be either 2, 8 or 3, 7, which isn't quite as restrictive as I would like it to be. But then I have another 10 cage that sees a 2 and a 7, and so it would have to be 1, 9 or 4, 6, and maybe the 4, 6 would break or something.
Okay.
I wish I knew where your sequence lines went, because maybe there is some weird overlap between them.
I mean, I can tell you, you just can't draw it.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to know?
That's okay.
You can highlight them.
Yeah, sure.
So row 5, column 1, row 5, column 2, row 5, column 3, and row 4, column 3 is my sequence line.
Oh, you only have one sequence line?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is your sequence line. Okay, interesting.
Does that overlap considerably with your 4-length line?
3 of those are on my my line. My line is that, but mirrored. So mine starts in row 4, column 1 instead of row 4, column 3.
I wonder if we're in danger of like making your sequence line also correct. If mine's
if you do
I do certain things
like 9, 8, 7, 6.
Yeah, so if I do like 9, 8, 7, 6, does that force 5 above it or something?
I mean, I can't imagine how, but who knows?
Right. Me neither. I was hoping you had some insight there.
I will say, every time we have thought something complicated was going on in this puzzle, it has turned out to not be complicated so far.
Yeah.
Not that I'm counting our chickens or anything, but
well, I have noticed something about my killer cages. I have a 3-cell 9 cage, and I believe it can't be 2, 3, 4. Just because of where certain numbers have landed, because the 4 would be forced here, and then oh no, it could be 2, 3, 4. Oh no, it can't be because it can be, but it would force my sequence line to start with 2, and then it could do 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh my gosh. Okay, well that's a lot, but yeah, my 9 cage can't be 2, 3, 4 because it breaks my sequence line, so it would have a 1 in it. But I don't actually know if that's it would actually place a 1. So, okay. I can tell you that if my killer cages are correct, then row 6, column 9 is a 1. Does that do anything for you?
It places it in a 4-cell 16 cage.
Oh, wonderful.
So I'm perfectly fine, unfortunately, with this stage of eventualities.
I was hoping you had some way to also force 1 there or something.
There's like no universe in which this random dinky Renbon is useful. I'm sorry, Renbon.
I have a single 3-length Renban.
But I mean, it is interesting now to note what I said before, which is that if my killer grid is correct, row 4, column 7 is a 9.
So if your killer cages are correct...
Okay, sorry. I realized something that I should have realized before. If my killer cages are correct, my row 4, column 7 is a 9, and then the rest of that row in box 6 is a 4, 6 pair.
9, 4, 6. By the logic of I have 4 green boxes and you have 1 green box, I think your killer cages are probably correct, but
I was also wondering about that. But I do notice that would create aligning 4 6s, which would force 4 and 6 onto your sequence line in row 5. Is that a problem?
One of the options is 2, 4, 6, 8, and that works perfectly.
I see.
And in fact, if you have a 9 in row 4, column 7, because your cages are correct, then I need a non-2 in row 5, column 7. So that also aligns with having a 2, 4, 6, 8 sequence line. Why don't we just write 2, 4, 6, 8 in there and keep going? No.
Just make it like there was a recording error and just blur it out and then just have us keep going. That we understood why it had to be that, and everyone will assume we're geniuses.
Well, that was a really good deduction, Zeta, and now we've confirmed that this is 2, 4, 6, 8 for sure. I think we explained it well enough that we never have to explain it again.
We never ever have to think about this for the rest of our lives. Yes. There's no way it breaks my 16 cage if one of these is 4, 6. That doesn't sound at all plausible. Yeah, there are plenty of 16 options that involve neither 4 nor 6, I'm pretty sure. I guess when I say there are plenty, there aren't that many, but... I
wonder if it's something dumb like this 9 cage that I have. I have a 9 domino as well. Like, it's just not possible. It can't be 1, 8. It can't be 2, 7. I think 3, 6 is possible. It would do 3, 6. And 4, 5 is definitely possible. Okay.
Wait, wouldn't 3, 6 break every way of making 9 and 3?
If I can't do... Oh, so...
Because you can't do 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 5, or 1, 2, 6 if you do 3, 6.
True. So it's not 3, 6. So it would have to be 4, 5.
Where is this 4, 5 going? What 2 cells?
Row 4, column 8, and row 5, column 8. So if my cages are true, that has to be a 4, 5 pair. That's a really good point. And then 4, 5 is going to force my 3 cell 9 cage to be 1, 2, 6, isn't it?
Yep, that sounds right.
And so the 6 would get placed here, the 1 here, and the 2 here. And that breaks my sequence line, because I can't do 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh no. Okay, my cages aren't true.
Have we just decided that it's definitely 2, 4, 6, 8? What was the other option other than it being 2, 4, 6, 8?
If there's a 2, if the 2 is forced to be in row 5, column 1, then my sequence line starts at 2, and it can't be 2, 3, so I have to do for 2, 4, 6, 8.
Right, okay.
And then that breaks because I'd have a 6 in my 9 cage conflicting with it.
I see. So your 2 from your 9 cage from your 3 cell 9 cage would rule 2 out of row 6.
Correct. Yeah, the 2 would be in row 6.
Okay.
Because
so that would
And then that would put a 2 on the sequence line, which makes it 2, 4, 6, 8. But the 6 in row 5, column 3 would conflict with the 6 in row 5, column 9 for the 9 cage. Wow. Okay,
Crazy.
Well, I'll take it. I'm graying that box.
Okay, I will have a second green box, which means immediately that row 4, column 7 is a 9.
Yep. So
and it means
you had that 4, 6 pair, right?
That these are a 4, 6 pair. That's correct.
That was the rest of row 4, right?
Was the rest of row 4.
So that looks
right?
left.
Yep. So we've got 1, 3, 5, 8 left in the row.
Yeah.
I think.
Sounds right. That's interesting for my sequence line. Probably.
So then my 10 cage in row 5, column 7, and row 6, column 7, it's either 2, 8 or 3, 7.
3, 7 only goes one way.
Yeah, and 3, 7 only goes one way.
Well, you can't put a 2 in row 5, column 7, or I'd have a correct 11 cage.
Okay. So that's not... So row 5, column 7 is not a 2, so row 6, column 7 is not an 8.
Yep.
Okay.
And actually, we need to be careful about row 5, column 8. It can't add to 9 with the cell above it. Which is really only a problematic for 4, 5. But
So 9, I'm noticing now in box 9, I can corner mark into 3 cells, 2 of which would live on a Wren bond for me.
okay.
I'm just noting that because it might be useful later. Oh, 1 is just placed in box 6. Just by Sudoku.
Sure is.
5, I suppose I can corner mark in a few...
Two cells, right?
The box. Yep. And
if the 5 ends up in row 5, column 8, then the cell above it would have to be a 6. But I don't know if that's a problem.
Yes.
Maybe my sequence line comes into play now.
I'd love for it to, so we never have to think about it again.
Okay,
but,
so because I have 1, 3, 5, 8 on one of the ends. If you recall where my line was.
Yes.
So the 1 seems impossible because I can't go 1, 2, 3, and I can't go 1, 3. So 1 is out. 3.
Okay, so yeah, I can just eliminate 1 from that cell because your box is correct.
Correct. 3, 4, 5, 6.
Unfortunately seems possible. But 5, 6,
3,
7, 8 isn't.
5, 7, 9 is not. 5, 6, 7, 8 is not. And 5, 4, 3,
2, 1.
2 is not, yeah.
Yeah.
8, 7, 6, 5. Seems okay. And then
as far as I can tell.
And then 8, 6, 4, 2 seems okay. I think that's it.
I keep looking and reminding myself that I need to make this V wrong and making sure that we don't screw it up. But the V, one of the cells on it is pencil marked to 5, 8. And so I've not gotten a lot out of the fact that the V has to be wrong.
And maybe one day. Don't put a -1 into... So did you pencil as I said? So you have row 5 penciled?
So it could be 8, 6, 4, 2... or 3, 4, 5, 6,
or 8, 7, 6, 5,
or 8, 7, 6, 5. Okay, and yeah, could not be 3, 5, 7, 9. You're right, because that would put the 9 into a place where 9 is not allowed to go.
Right.
Okay. Yay.
And it can't be 3, 1, -1. -3.
Okay, also important to note.
Yeah.
Likely relevant.
That'll come in handy later.
What else? Yes. We just haven't yet come to that deduction.
There's not an 8.
A point yet.
Does it matter? There's not an 8 in row 5.
Yeah, so there is an 8 either in my 10 cage or in my 16 cage.
Which would leave 8 left over in the 16. You have a 1
I guess
already.
my 16 cage now doesn't have a 4 or a 6. So my 8 cage definitely... Oh, my 16 cage definitely has a 5, but I already have that pencil mark, so it's not exciting.
So you've got 6 already in it, and if you had the 8 also, that'll be 14, so you'd have to put the 2 in it.
Yeah, so I have a 10 cage that's either 2-8 or 3-7, and the other one goes in my 16 cage.
Because you have 6 already in it. Yeah.
Yep, because I already got 6 in it, correct. Or also because the killer calculator told me, whichever you prefer. I'm a little afraid I'm supposed to be thinking about these stupid 2-cell thermos, which
oh no.
I'm a little afraid that I'm supposed to somehow be seeing something about where the 8s and 9s are getting pushed into this. Yeah,
I got nothing on these. I hope I don't have to think about them either. Maybe the quads? I don't know.
I'm also like a little bit worried that like one of these arrangements of this box is going to make a 987 on my region or on my sequence line if we put the 9 and something, which I'm also a little bit scared of.
Hold on, 9 in box 4. We can.
Yes, only in one of 2 places.
Pencil. Not that it helps, but.
And we do have to be a little worried that if we make it 9-8, that if we put the 9 in row 6, column 3, that we're going to make a 9-8-7 sort of situation.
Right.
Which would be a problem for my line, which goes across the bottom of that box. I think I have previously revealed.
Yeah.
There's not like a Y-wing on 138s or something, is there, that we're supposed to see? I hope.
A Y-wing in this puzzle.
would be an amazing twist.
There's probably some sort of like unorthodox tuple, like 1358 or something.
Weird tuple involving the sequence line or something.
I do wonder like if the sequence line ended up having a commonality to it that's interesting.
I mean, it always has a 6 on it, just by Sudoku, but also by.
Yeah. True. So we have
the fact that we enumerated the cases.
So we can reject anything that didn't use 6. I think they all use 6 though.
Yeah.
They do. Okay.
So let me just remind myself what they were. So they were 3, 4, 5, 6. which would make that a 1, which is fine. I'm just making sure none of them make mine right too.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 8, 7. Sorry, wasn't there a second one with 3? Or no, there's only one with 3.
There's one with 3 and there's 2 with 8.
Okay, and then there's 8, 7, 6, 5, which definitely doesn't make that correct. And then there's 8, 6, 4, 2, which definitely doesn't make that correct unless it would make that a 0. 8, 6, 4, 2.
It needs a 4 and a 6 by Sudoku.
It does need a 4 and a 6 by Sudoku, and so I guess where the 4 and the 6 go dictates everything.
But all 3 of those cases use 4 and 6, don't they? No, 8, 7, 6, 5 doesn't.
Oh, 8, 7, 6, 5 doesn't work, right? Then if we do 8, 7, 6, 5, we can't put 4 in the box. Okay, good. So we can't do 8, 7, 6, 5. Let's
redo those three cells then. So we can do 3, 4, 5, 6, or we can go 8, 6, 4, 2, and that's it.
Yep.
Okay.
That gives us a 4-5 pair in column 2, which eliminates 5 from a very unexciting cell, I suspect.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if the 2's not there, then the 2's down here with a collection of other digits.
Yeah.
But I don't think it super matters. Let's see.
Interesting.
We've got sort of the bones of a 4, 5, 6, 7 triple, and in fact in column 2 we actually have a 4, 5 pair, which I think I already said, but maybe if I say it again it'll be interesting. Sorry, what?
I was just thinking about how if the sequence line starts with 8, I'm really trying to get rid of this sequence line. If it did 8, 6, 4, 2, right, then the 8 also affects box 5, making that 5 and 8. But I don't really... No, never mind. I don't see anything with that.
And are your quads at all interesting? I know you've got a 3-9 down there somewhere.
Oh. I've got a 3-9 and a 1-2.
And a 1-2.
Yeah, so if my quads are correct, then I can't have a 1 in column 4 of that box. So that would place the 1 in column 4.
Wait. There's never... So my 1... Okay, we missed this for a while.
Okay.
My 1 quad is also in columns 5 and 6.
Oh, so just one... You just can't have 1.
You just can't have 1 there.
Okay.
So yeah, so there's a 1 up there.
So that makes a 3, 4, 9 triple, no matter what.
Yep. No, never mind. This is gonna make it... No, I could put this height of 7, 8 there. I'm just noticing that now I'm really low on spots to break my quads because none of my quads involve 3, 4, or 9, and none of them touch the 3, 4, or 9. So if my quads are wrong, I'm going to have to do a little bit of a dance in order to make sure that they're actually broken.
Okay.
And so that cell would have to be a 7 or an 8, but who cares?
Let me tell you a few things about my quads as well, and maybe that information happens to line up with yours.
Okay, so that would be great.
If my quads are correct, then I have a 1-2 pair in row 8, column 5, row 9, column 5. Is that interesting to you? If they're wrong, if my quads are wrong, then I know that row 7, column 5 is a 1 or a 2.
Sadly, I don't think any of that is interesting.
Okay. If my quads are right, then row 9, column 4 is a 4.
Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, my just row... Or column 4 just doesn't do anything with my quads.
Oh, so do your quads like overlap each other in columns 5 and 6?
Yeah, my quads overlap each other in columns 5 and 6.
Interesting.
And so... Yeah, if my quads are wrong, the thing I guess I know for sure is if my quads are wrong, then row 7, column 6 is a 7 or an 8. But I can't imagine how that could be useful, but maybe it could somehow.
Yeah. I want it to be.
I would love for it to be, yeah. But this whole business with the 349s feels like it was something we were supposed to find
ages ago.
And so I feel like it should be useful, but I'm straining to see how it could possibly be useful.
Well, it disambiguated the 1 and 9, but that only affects the columns. We already had that 1-9 pair for the row.
Oh, my X has to be wrong. So this 9 that's next to a 4 or 6, I have to make sure that,
it doesn't have a 1 under it.
I have to make sure that this 4 or 6 isn't accidentally a second 1 for the box.
That was it. Good spot.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
Do I have anything that needs to be wrong that's like... I only have 2 wrong boxes.
There's nothing in your Dutch Whispers that we haven't fixed or that we could fix, right?
No, I'm pretty sure this time. The 7-8 pair are connected to the 1 in the box. And then the 2-6 pair are also a line. And that's really all we've got.
I see. Okay. Oh, I'm an idiot.
This time.
Oh, it's me this time. It's me this time. Remember when I said we could rule out 9 from row 1, column 7 because I had a Dutch Whispers that told me that 4 couldn't go next to 9?
Yeah.
Well, spoiler, 4 can't go next to 8 either.
True. Okay.
So that means row 1, column 7 is actually a 7 and an 8, which fixes my 10 cage, making row 5, column 7 an 8 and a 2. Which is then going to place the 2 on your sequence line. Yes.
Is it a 2 right below the 8?
Right below the 8, correct.
Okay.
So that's going to place...
The 2,
that's going to resolve
6,
your sequence
8.
line.
Oh my gosh, so much easier.
Yeah, that was a lot less horrible than everything we were trying and contemplating doing with our lives.
Yes.
We just wanted to make sure we got enough.
That was just
content
revenge
out of
on
this.
me for me missing my Dutch Whispers for so long. You held back. This is what it feels like, Rangsk.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So now the digits at the bottom of this are 5, 7, 9, and we are at some risk of making my arithmetic sequence line correct. I don't think row 6, column 3
the middle
can be a
cell
9.
has to be a 9 then, right?
Right. So yeah, just to show people on my screen, if row 6, column 3 is a 9, it makes this a 7 and a 5, which then does not work. So in fact, yes, this has to be the 9 in the middle. So that's a 5. That's a 7.
Place a 6 in row 4, column 8.
6 in row 4, column 8.
Just put it there.
Oh, okay.
I have a 9 cage, so...
I see. Sorry. I heard places and not place.
Okay.
I was perfectly happy to just follow directions once I understood that's what I was doing.
Gotcha. Okay, this is looking a lot better now. I have almost everything filled in the top 2 pants.
Yep. Agree. Life is better now. Something like that.
And in fact, in column 1, we have that 1-3 pair. So these are from 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I have now filled out with Mark my box 9, and I'm looking at my Renbon, and I am noticing that 4 and 7 are too far apart. So there's the only way this works is if my Renbon is 7, 8, 9. I don't know if that's interesting or not.
I'm looking at mine, and I'm trying to find anything that actually works. All right, this cell's even, and this cell's odd. So I would need this cell to bridge the gap. Does that make sense? I don't even know if that makes sense. I am struggling to find something that works. Oh, 2, 3, 4 would work. I could put 2, 3, 4 on my line. 6, 5,
Where would
5,
the
6,
4 go?
7.
Would it happen that the 4 always goes in row 8, column 8, for example?
No. My line goes from row 8, column 7 to row 9, column 8 to row 9, column 9.
I see. So yours does that image egg. Okay.
It's like a chair leaning back. But I already saw at least 2 options. I'm wondering if I can eliminate some digits. Well, only if it's correct would I be able to eliminate digits. What about the quads now? Do the quad or the thermos maybe? Let me mark these up.
Yeah, there's no chance that made one of your quad. Yeah, I don't think we did anything to the quads box at all, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm just kind of marking up everything at this point, but okay, so we need a 2 and a 9 here. And we need a 7 and an 8 here. This is not helpful.
These aren't 4.
I'm wondering if it has to do with something dumb like if one of my thermos is correct, then yours is also correct, and then that's bad.
And that was the break into the entire puzzle.
Right.
I was curious if it was something like, oh, if I make my one thermo correct, it makes the other one incorrect or something like that. But it's like I'm noticing.
Well, I'd have a 7-8 pair if my thermos were correct.
So here's an interesting observation. 9 in column 3 goes in 3 places. 2 of those are on tips of thermos for me. So my thermo grid is automatically correct unless row 9, column 3 is a 9.
Okay.
You don't sound like this excited you as much as I had hoped it would.
I don't have anything in that cell. Or in column 3 at all. So. Okay, so let me tell you, if my thermos are correct, then I have a 7-8 pair in row 7, column 2, and row 8, column 2.
To row 8, column 2. Okay, those would be a 7-8 pair.
If my thermos are wrong, they'd be a 1. Oh, if my thermos are wrong, they'd be a 1-3 pair.
That doesn't work.
That doesn't work. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the case. So yeah, my thermos can't be incorrect. My thermos must be correct. I have a lot of correct boxes, by the way.
Paul Fly wanted to make sure that that we didn't just judge that it had to be 50-50.
Right.
So that means that row 9, column 3 is a 9.
Okay. And I placed the 7-8 pair. Again, it's in row 7, column 2, and row 8, column 2.
Okay. And now that means that row 9, column 2 has to be a 3. Because if it's a 1, it's the bulb of a 2-cell thermo, and it works.
Okay.
So
that's helpful.
It's a 3, which places a 4, and it plays a whole bunch of digits.
Yeah, I'm seeing that
I
too.
probably don't want to name them all. You can tell us in the comments which of those digits was your favorite.
I just got a 3-9 pair inside of a 3-9 quad. So that my
excellent.
quads are correct.
Okay, good. Okay, so
so I get a 1-2 pair as well. Do you want to know where it is yet?
Oh, in box 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Row 8, column 5, and row 9, column 5.
Okay, so these are not 5 or 6. Okay, so that's not 1 or 2. Let's see. I'm probably going to have a lot more. So I can guarantee you that row 7, column 6 is a 7 or 8.
Okay.
In order to make
so that's a 7-8 pair in the row.
Quad wrong. That is a 7-8 pair in the row. That's true. Rule 7 out of that cell that Sven already knows isn't 7, but we'll give some credit. Okay, let's see. Yeah, and I need a 1 or 5. So I have a really weird 1-5 virtual pair.
Okay, I can tell you something. Your Renban's correct. Because if my Renban was correct,
excellent.
I would need a 3 or a 5. Oh, no, sorry. I can do 5, 6, 7. Oh, no, sorry.
Well, let me give you a really weird deduction that I feel proud of.
Okay.
Which is that my 1-5 quad is wrong, which means that one of these two cells in row 9 is a 1 or a 5. But also row 9, column 7 is a 1 or a 5. So that's a virtual 1-5 pair, which means that row 9, column 1 is a 6, which I'm sure does absolutely nothing. But I was proud of it, so I'm going to take it.
It doesn't do nothing. I think it made my Renban impossible.
Oh.
Because I wanted to do 5, 6, 7, but you just removed my 6.
Oh.
So if my Renban were true, this definitely couldn't be 2 or 3 because there's a 7 on it. And then, so I would have to be 5, 7, 8, which, was that even your example of not... I don't remember what your example was.
No, I think, 5, 7, 8 might have been almost exactly my example of not a Renban.
Yeah,
so my Renban is correct.
Yes. And mine's wrong.
Oops. I randomly hit the mark button for some reason. I don't think it did anything, though, because I think it was confused as to what exactly I wanted it to do, because I didn't know either. So that means that row 7, column 8 is a 9.
Okay.
And it means that row 8, column 9 is an 8.
Okay.
And I think that should either finish the whole puzzle or we're going to figure out we made a horrible mistake.
One of those is probably true, yes. I am following Sven around.
I have been told the solution was correct.
Same. Very nice. Okay, Woohoo! So that puzzle was a lot easier than we made it.
It was a lot easier than the previous one.
Yeah.
And yes, if both of us had done better with the Dutch Whispers box, I think our solve would have been a lot faster.
It didn't even occur to me when you removed the 9 that it would also remove the 8. So.
It is true. I did very clearly communicate the thing that I was doing that was incorrect. But yeah, I'm glad I remembered about the one that was down here. But yeah, all kinds of things. I was also glad that I just immediately guessed what the break-in was going to be with the white and black dots. So I was like, I bet they're on top of each other when I was explaining it.
Mm-hmm. That's clever.
But yeah, there's a lot of really neat stuff in this. Even if I ended up with, for whatever reason, I was the slighted one who only got 3 correct boxes. But importantly, my Renban box was correct, which is the only thing I really wanted.
You picked the correct puzzle. Luckily, the black dot puzzle also had the correct Renban, so you're happy.
Exactly. Yeah. That perfect. Yeah.
Well,
the black dots were wrong, but I can live with that.
Yeah. Well, that was fun. Thank you, Zeta, for doing another one of these with me. These have been a lot of fun. I definitely want to do more.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm happy to do more. If you or I come across more of them that we can do, I'm more than happy to join you for them.
Yeah, maybe we just need to set them for each other so that you can do them with other people. But yeah,
I was actually thinking we could at some point, if we were really ambitious, we could try and do a we set a pair doku together thing.
Interesting. I'd be down for that.
Nice sneeze. Yeah, it could make an interesting video. I don't know.
Do we set it pair doku style, where it's like, okay, so I'm going to add a constraint that will happen to.
Exactly. We can't tell each other what constraints we've added to the puzzle.
Oh gosh, it would end up such a mess. But actually, then it would end up a decent pair doku puzzle because it was set as a pair doku. That's a really interesting idea. Anyway, we're diverging, but Interesting setting challenge there. Thank you, Palfly, for reaching out and letting us know that you had this puzzle. This was a lot of fun. If you have a Paradoku puzzle sitting around, definitely let me know, and I will try to get that done as well. So yeah, any sign-offs from you, Zeta?
Always remember that Dutch whispers are a difference of 4, and that 4 and 8 are only 4 apart. That is, if I've learned nothing else from this, I don't think I learned anything about the sequence lines, no. But I feel like I have learned some things that are only 4 apart that I had not previously known. So I've learned a little bit about subtraction of single-digit numbers. So, but yes, thank you, Paul Fly. This was a lot of fun, and I look forward to further adventures in Paradoku. I feel like with chat, this one would have been a 12-minute puzzle.
Yes, definitely. All right. Well, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a kind comment below. Check out.
And if you're not subscribed to either of our channels, subscribe to the other one.
There's a link in the description to Zeta Math's channel and or Rangsk's channel, depending on who you're watching this on. And we'll see you next time.
I did get at least one comment that said they subscribed to your channel because they weren't subscribed. So
nice. Well, thank you. At
least got you one subscriber out of the last one.
Thank you, kind person. I appreciate all my subscribers.